Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. It's Monday, February 23rd. We're going to review 0-day options on SPY and small account challenge. Some news over the weekend, which gave us a bit of volatility today. But what a crappy day, really. I struggled today. I was looking at my metrics and I was trying to focus on my risk reward is quite good actually. It's like 2.3 to 1 or something. Yeah, my win rate is very low though. So I was like, all right, I can just get 50% win rate on the day. I was kind of trying to get that. So if I had a losing trade, I'm like, all right, next trade I got to make sure it's a winner. Not quite to that extent, but this morning I was kind of thinking about it. Anyways, let's get into it. On the 30-minute, we opened there wasn't much of a gap. Opened up, yeah, like right about there. Rallied up, and then just sold in the most ugly fashion for the first half of the day. Completed this inverse cup and then some, and made a handle, and yeah. There's Eric's chart. He's SPY day trading on YouTube. You can find his Discord in the description as well. Start off with this gray for the buying. Potential for buying. Wasn't a whole lot of price action here for me to get comfortable with these algos yet though. And then I had purple for the bullish controlled selling based on this resistance, flipping to this support. But again, not a whole lot of price action here. And then I got gold for the taper, and it broke the gray. I considered jumping in on the breaking of the taper. I'm like, no, these are early candles. I'm gonna leave it, let it do its thing, let it complete an inverse cup, which it did that. And I wanted to move back up to here to get puts, and it didn't happen. So I don't think I caught this. I don't know. I didn't have purple at that point, or no, I did have purple actually. Yeah, I had purple, so that was part of the thing that was actually saving me probably from getting puts, was just seeing that it's the downside's very limited there. Let's see where my first trade was. First trade is at 954. So I deleted some stuff as I go along, and as I see stuff differently, I'll make it more accurate. Big green candle. So inverse cups completed. This purple line wasn't here. I don't know. Maybe it was, but yeah, this isn't a real. At the time, this wasn't like, oh, this is a nice resistance. Yeah, you have VWAP there for a stop. Basically, I'm just saying, well, why I didn't enter here. I was waiting for more of a retrace or a break, and so I think I got it on this break. Yeah. So this candle broke at on 954, which I got put, and came down. So wicked above, wick down there, and then this next candle it opened, and I closed it out right here because it looked like it was just selling the purple maybe. This line I think was steeper at that point. What did I have? That looks perfect. I'm not sure why I closed that. Yeah, I think this wick just, it opened here. We already had that big wick. And this is kind of a support again, which is why I shouldn't have been opening. I maybe didn't have this purple down here, but yeah, I stopped that on this candle. Not exactly sure why. I think just on this wick, because it was a red trade, and I mean I could have been very green on this if I stopped at the right point of that candle, but I didn't. Yeah, that was 151 to 143. Next trade was so it came down. Quite annoying. Holding this purple, but just kind of breaking through, but then wicking. I'm like, oh man, it is selling this just like all over the place though. It's not I'm like, maybe my lines are a little bit off, but yeah, I left it. Anyways, nice big green candle here. So looking for gold to build liquidity. Really looking for more of a retrace to get a position for the downside. And it just doesn't. It just melts down this purple. And I'm not trying to enter anywhere here because it's still sitting on the support until this candle. So to me, this is breaking out of this purple support in a more aggressive or steeper selling. But yeah, I'm not going to usually get on these. Sometimes I will, but I didn't. And I guess partially because of 5-day right here. Yeah, I guess that's probably why. I don't know if 5-day was here at that point though. I think it was probably a little higher. Came up, it's retesting purple. So that's my reasoning actually for this trade right here, which this trade was annoying. This trade I understood, I got. Now looking at it in hindsight, I don't really understand why I stopped out, but in the moment this was fine. I was like, okay, whatever. This trade had a nice grab on the retrace at 10:08, somewhere right up here I gotta put. There's also with this red selling as resistance, and let's see, 10:08. Yeah, it was like 685.63. It came down. I liked it. I was like, all right, cool. I put purple in there pretty late. That purple wasn't there, and I'm just looking for it to sell in red. I'm like, all right, I'll just use red for my stop. It looks like a meltdown day, like grinding down purple with then some volatility to the downside, and we just haven't had any retrace yet. So yeah, I'm thinking I'll just use this and try and hold this thing pretty long. But I wasn't paying close enough attention because I don't think I put purple in fast enough, seeing that it could be selling in purple again, and not also realizing this was like a 1-point move right here. 685.61, 684.70. Yeah, that was almost a point from my entry. So I looked at the contract value a little bit, but I try not to look at that while I'm in the trade, and turn that down a little bit. And it's hindsight, of course, and of course I don't get into this trade with the intention of closing here. I should have, I guess, but usually when you get a high volume move like that off of a selling channel into a steeper selling channel, it's going to merit a larger downside. You know, this is just, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, so I didn't take profits there. I don't, maybe it was just being greedy or not paying attention to a point move would have been plenty for me to take profits, but I didn't, and it came up, ripped up, and I think I stopped out on this and turned a green trade into a red trade, which I think I said last week, that's pretty unusual for me, but now I'm saying it again. So I did it here again, unfortunately. Small red trade, 129 to 124, but I think this thing was at like 150, 160. 1008 to 1010, yeah. So very grindy morning, very grindy, and then just cruising along. Purple, I didn't have white at that point. I put in gold. Just grinding down, that's so ugly. 1018. Okay, yeah, this is actually crazy. I'm happy about this trade in a sense because I guess because it was green. It was a little risky though, so I went for a zombie or a retracement trade, based on that it's not continuing and it's just selling in this tapering purple. So with gold being what I think is building liquidity, I use that to manage my risk here. It's just selling in purple. It breaks the steepest selling red right here, selling purple, and then I noticed it's starting to potentially buy up in this gold. So I'm like, all right, I'll just use gold for my stop. I'll try and get along. Usually this time of day, if this is going on, we're gonna get a big bounce up to VWAP or higher for the move back down or whatever. I'm not trading on usuals though. Like I said, there's managed risk here, and yeah. So I got a call here at 10:18. We're still firmly in the selling on the 30-minute. Got a call here at 10:18, pretty early on this candle. Came up, came down, like, oh, but this is kind of the nature of these retracement trades. You've got to kind of be pretty you gotta kind of just hold it and not let the, because they could just grind up this. Might take profit on that. Why is this music? Might take profit on that would have been definitely like by VWAP if not sooner. But let's see. So purple's like the earliest take profit, and then this purple up here. So this resistance, this support. So this candle was pretty nice. There was actually some velocity to that thing, so I took it on that one. And this one made me green. So yeah, 119 to 138. The range was pretty big, pretty big. So yeah, I got an exit right here, which I was pretty happy about. And I was like, all right, well, just want to be careful now. And I was kind of thinking about trying to get my win rate up. So, which I think in the back of my head will help me not to overtrade typically. Yeah, I kind of kept grinding down, broke gold. Did I get puts there? I maybe did. Let's see, 1036 I got a put. No, I didn't. It grinded down. Yeah, okay, so same thing did here for my purple. It broke it, closed below it here. This is the retrace. I get a put right there on the retrace. And it ripped above it, so failed breakout, I guess. Although at the same time, it could have been this other selling, this gold that was going on that I wasn't seeing. I don't know. But yeah, so that one trapped me. That was 112 to $1.02. The equity curve for this day is like staying pretty even. Like I'm a little red, then a little green, which I was fine with. So like this morning really sucks. It's very, very grindy. So even if I was a little red, it was no big deal. And then at 1036 and 37. Is that the one I just did? Yeah. Yes, 1036 was $1.12 to $1.02. Then 1053. I got a put. So kind of kept grinding down. Still in that purple. And then we get a nice big candle, same deal like it did up here. Flushing through, selling in the steeper red. And this candle's quite large. 683.55, 682.70. I get one on the retrace here. Pretty close to here, actually. My fill on that one was pretty nice. Yeah. So I get a pretty nice fill on that one right here. On a put. Yeah, 98 cents, 681 put. Let's see. And I close it out for a small gain at 1057 right here. So a couple reasons for that. Well, for one, we haven't had any continuation. It's been, you've had, I mean, I guess continuation on what you call it, but it's broken out of that once, and then it continues to buy in this purple. It's broken out of this, and it's continuing to, or sell. It's continuing to sell in this purple based on this wick, that candle, this candle, and then that wick. And so I'm not interested in holding it, as well as it broke out of my steeper selling red channel here, which I had to have some kind of risk management on that, because yeah, you can't be too loose on these because these are kind of chase trades, all of these. I do see, of course, that it retraced and retested white now, and that's easy to see in hindsight. And I kind of saw it at the time too. I didn't feel like managing it all the way up here. Yeah, these chase trades are just, they're hard to just kind of hold as you're, for me, it's just like, yeah, it's a chase. Unless I have more than one contract, I suppose. I was still green on it, sold it out here. It did, of course, stop selling in that red. Came down, and yeah, then you can see what happened. Volume picked up, and it finally made its move. Aggressive move to the downside. Yeah. So trade like that, like getting back in is just, yeah, there's not really, it's just the candles are all just all around my purple line, like dropping below it, wicking, and it's so my charting is probably not quite right today, and that's reflectant of my trades, I would most likely say. And so by this point, the confidence is probably a little low, and the price action has been just so wearing that I'm just not, I guess I wasn't really willing to just hold it bouncing off this resistance on white, especially after it broke out of the red and just trying to get a green trade. Maybe I had it in my head about trying to get more green trades and up my win rate. I'm sure with upping my win rate, I'm going to lose my risk to reward some. Hopefully not, but that's most likely what's going to happen. Just taking profits on trades that are smaller instead of holding for longer trades, bigger trades. But yeah, this was a good trade, I guess. Suppose I could have had a different, so I put this in after. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I could have done that. Like, was this? No, this is a later time, maybe. Yeah, see, it's even if I'm just trying to like, yeah. So that was that one, and that didn't feel like I was in FOMO, but that maybe gave me some FOMO. Yeah, I was pretty sad about that, missing that one. Yep. Took a break, went to eat. That was 98 cents to $1.08, so small green trade. Still on the day, I think I was slightly green. It was no big deal. Kind of waiting for my trade to come, I guess. And then it comes down here, starts selling that purple again. At least that's what I was seeing. Bouncing. Where could I get this retracement? I mean, I guess, sure, just chasing the white, but no, I'm not going to do that. So maybe if it breaks this purple right here, I was charting that and then using white for my stop. You can see it kind of breaking it here and retesting, potentially here also. At this point though, like, I'm not really into it, so I'm just kind of letting it do its thing. And it does, and then it starts selling this gold, and this is when I actually charted. This is when I finally found this gold algo right here, which I think was showing up back here too. I think Eric has this one too. His is less aggressive. I actually did glance at Eric's a couple times today, which sucks because on days where I'm kind of lost, I do, and then that gives me some kind of unfounded confidence, and like, shouldn't have it because I didn't derive that from my own analysis. His charting, so it usually doesn't help for whatever reason. I think that's the reason though. 132. Enough rambling. 132. I was in a call. Came down, did not complete the inverse cup. So broke the gold there. Yes, it looks nice. This gold was not. Yeah. Broke the gold, retested. This would have been a nice entry off his inverse head and shoulder here. I just didn't feel like managing stuff at that point, I guess. I decided I'll just wait for a cup to close up here. To me, this is the top of the cup. Grinded up to there. Completed the cup at this point. Makes a little... I'm like, there's a tiny little handle. This sucks. Breaks this gold. Kind of retests it. All while just still buying up in this gold. So ideally, I'd like it to retest this gold more to have a nicer entry if this is going to be my stop, which it probably would have been. So I didn't get in here because this wasn't really hardly a handle. And maybe this wasn't a cup. I don't know. To me, this is a cup, but it was one of those days. It's just, there's probably a huge wedge. It's in, and I didn't quite see it. And I mean, I see some of it, of course. Like, this is the bottom of it. And if I'm putting gold up here, the top is way up here. So yeah, this is the kind of price action sometimes you get in just big wedges where it's not making sense, and that's because it's not testing any of the boundaries of the wedge. It's just cruising around, throwing you off, thinking it's doing something. So yeah, potentially this is the top of the wedge and this is the bottom. So anyways, came up, where was that entry? 132. It sucks starting the week out like this. Really kills the confidence too. 132. So I got a call right here. Like I said, we've completed the cup, so looking for handles more or less, and why not get one when it's retesting this gold. So I got one right there on that candle. 132, close it out. 78 cents to 71 cents, close it out at 137 on this candle. Right here, breaking that. This gold, yeah, I put that in there, so I don't know if this is some resistance from somewhere else. Maybe that gold up here, I'm not sure, but probably just in random spot in the middle of a wedge. Big wedge. Broke gold, I guess I could have gotten puts there. I don't, it's like, then I'm just kind of changing tactics and changing strategy on off the cuff and on a whim, and I was trying not to do that. So yeah, I did do that, which is good. Next trade was 206 to 210 in calls. So came down, started selling aggressively in this one. This is a nice little head and shoulders. The problem is I can look for these and take them, but half the time this is in the middle of a wedge and this actually doesn't play out. This probably is breaking something somewhere. I'm just not, I don't have it charted. I'm not seeing it. But yeah, it's little head and shoulders, and then the selling got more aggressive. 206, 210. What is this one? Yeah, as you see, I had this. Oh, it's too much trading. Right here. Yeah. So I was waiting for it to break white to get puts, just like it did here. That would have been, I didn't even mention that. So this entry right here I should have had for puts. That to me, I mean, I had that charted. That was nice. So I was bummed I missed this one, because that was what I was using up here. But it just, yeah. Anyways, so once it got to right here, I'm trying to catch a zombie trade because it's starting to show some support on the white. So I'll use white for my stop, and I get in right there, stop out on that red wick right there. So a wick got me out right there, which of course didn't work anyways. But was there a trade earlier that, let's see, I think that might be coming up. I got stopped out on 3 wicks today that would have worked. I don't know if this was one of them. I mean, this one, of course, it would have worked better than that exit. I could have gotten a better exit, but I wouldn't have, because, yeah, I was waiting for the move up. That was 42 cents to 35. Next trade, oh yeah. Wait, 217 I opened, and then 222 I opened another one for puts. So, yep, right here. Broke the white. Like I said, that's what I was waiting for. Got it here. And then got another one. Got a fill right here for another contract. Yeah, this one. That's for that white break. Selling in purple, which isn't my favorite. But I was like, oh, I'll just kind of use that for my stop, which was pretty miserable because it's not that aggressive. So I was in 2 at this point, and it's just grinding. I'm like, this is not what I want. But I held on to it. Had 2 28 cents, 23 cents, and stopped out of them on that wick right there. Yep. This one. Very grindy price action. Given this was my stop, but it very well could be retesting this gray for all I know, and I did not feel like holding for that. Another wick that stopped me out. It happened earlier too, I think, besides that one. But anyways, out of both of them there, and I was like, that's fine. It's fine that it wicked, but then it continues to sell, and it's selling in the purple, and it makes its way down. These contracts went like 150%, which is kind of a bummer. So that one sucked. It is, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not a great trade to enter now in hindsight, I guess, but it doesn't feel good when I got stopped out because I didn't wait for the candle to close, and that's because of probably my accuracy today at that point was already quite low, so the confidence is lower. Next trade is at 230. Got to put. So did it, and I'm trying to get back in. I get in on this green candle. So I did have this gold at that point, and I'm like, that was part of the thing here. I'm like, maybe this gold will find support. The gold I just pulled out from right here, which I wasn't sure about. I was like, maybe this is another channel setting up on a larger time frame. I think this actually was legitimate. It broke here and retested. So I gotta put, let's see, right here at 230, stopped out of it at 233. That's the second wick. It was literally this selling this purple that stopped me out twice. It stopped me out and I got back in for some redemption and it did it again and I was the same sucker. Oh man, yeah, when it's slow price action like that, like the range is big today, but when it's selling, just I just don't do well, I guess, when it's these larger moves. I don't know. Like I can if I have runners and I'm already in the green on it or whatever, but just trying to scalp it when it's grinding and big candles both ways. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, so this wick got me out also. This one actually, to be fair, this was a mistake. I didn't mean to get out on this one. So since I changed my E-Trade settings to be a little faster, to enter, I have it's set so I have to click twice for confirmation. To exit, it's just once. And I clicked it and I forgot and I was like, oh no. And I actually sold it. And I kind of was trying to wait, thinking I'd have a second click, because normally I'll get all queued up to enter or exit. And when it happened, I'm like, all right, whatever, I should have gotten out of it anyways. But I wasn't actually trying to. It was kind of a misclick, to be honest. And I know it's easy to say now, but it truly was. Not to say I wanted to hold that, but I feel like I was having the patience. I had my mouse over it. I was ready in case this kind of wanted to close above there. Because I mean, this candle was pretty jumpy. And it literally was kind of like just a mixed click. So that stop wasn't quite as bad, but it just sucked because I literally got wicked out twice. And for that move, this move was nice. I mean, the price action I hate, but the range wise, it was nice. 233. This one feels bad. 233. Let's see. Close out of that one. 233. Yeah. Got a call. 333. So I wasn't really going to trade anymore because I was basically at max loss at that point. But I was close. I wasn't quite there. I'm like, this sucks. I was only down a little bit here. And I was like, one of those days, I go, well, let me get it back. Sort of a revenge trade, I guess. It wasn't even a revenge trade, but I guess. I don't know. This big candle, probably do some FOMO. Broke the gold. So I'm thinking potentially VWAP back to safety. Moving averages are up here. And I started looking at Eric's chart too. Not to put fault on him. It's I don't know. I don't know why I'm also almost always, it almost always messes me up, but for some reason I still do it at times. I guess when it's these days where I'm kind of lost. So yeah, I got one here, got a call, and I checked Eric's chart, and this also was confirmed on his chart, which gave me more confidence. Let's see if he still has it. Yeah. So on his chart, it's right here. So it was breaking something he had set up there. His charting looks so much cleaner today. So that gave me extra confidence. I'm like, all right, I'll just use his orange for a stop. And it came down and was retesting, and I got another one. So on this candle, I got another one. And these were actually like at the money, so they're more expensive. That was a mistake. I could have gotten more, but they need to be out of the money. Monetarily, it was just too big of a position for this late in the day, especially when I was red. So I got one at 333 and one at 335, 62 cents and then 55 cents. And this thing went down like a point. Not quite, like half a point. Yeah, half a point. And maybe it actually would have been worse if I had further out of the money, but I wouldn't have had monetarily, it would have been a smaller value. The notional value would have been smaller, so less of a loss, but percentage wise more. This is more of a loss, less percentage wise. Stopped out, so 62 cent fill to open, 55 to open, stopped out at 43. I don't know if it's false break or charting was off or just end of day shenanigans, but that sucked. Yeah, that took me over max loss. It wasn't too bad here. just chipping away at a red day, and then that was, yeah, I made a mistake. Too much. Shouldn't have probably averaged in either that late in the day, unless it was out of the money and there were smaller contract value. One last little trade to seal it off. 355, 355. In and out in a few seconds for 40 cent to 28 cent. Right here. Broke my white. Usually I don't trade on the 5 after the 5 minute. But it broke white, held below it, came up, retested it. Now it's like, oh, it's just finding support on gold, I guess. I was like, all right, well, it's selling the red. I got it here when it was retesting. I mean, it broke the gold, it just didn't close below it on that one. And yep, 40 to 28 ripped up, sold it. So it's unfortunate. Not even the dollar, just the days like today just make you question a lot. Like, what am I doing? Like, is this just when I'm not? I don't know. It's hard on a Monday to start like this. Kind of sucks. Need to be careful tomorrow. Yeah, hopefully price action is a little more favorable to what I'm better at, I guess. There are the trades. 67, yeah, that sucks. Last week was feeling good. Confidence was up. I'd like to get that back. Getting my win rate higher and trying not to do that at the expense of my risk reward. So probably fewer trades. Mistakes that I shouldn't have made. Not taking profits on that one. It was just such a tight range, and you know the reasons why. These wicks stopping me out. Of course, there's reasons for it, but another mistake. Yeah, and then this price action today, I don't know. It's just challenging for me when it looks like this. Not sure why. Not sure how to improve. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Peace out.